there's perfumers in this world today selling perfumes that have never smelled musk, and we're giving it away. Like in every composition, there's elements of. Yeah, so for the official thing, let's get the full, robust, and atomizers, they do tend to kind of slightly enhance the element.
So this is the finished
this
product.
is this is the full, oops, you're going to taste it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like all the different elements of all the different iterations.
It's all brought
fully
together.
balanced and brought together.
It's balanced, there's no edges with it. The other ones, they were brilliant, but there were edges to them, whereas this is just smoothed out completely.
Yeah, I love the spiciness of it. It's like your brain is instantly trying, especially if you're used to smelling lots of different smells.
Yeah.
You immediately go, what is that? What is that? What is it? Whereas this one is just...
It's impossible to pick it up.
Yeah, you can't pick it up.
There's definitely a creamy quality to it. Not gourmand though.
Right.
Sweet, but not sweet.
Mine is more spicy sweet at the moment. More spicy than sweet.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Mashallah. Yeah, I think I want that. This is class. Do you know what I mean? It's classy.
Yeah.
And it's not, in terms of masculine or female, it's not one way or the other, it's down the middle. This to me is like, on a hot day, with a white shirt, crisply ironed. Just beautiful. I think it'd do well in the spring and summer, but I think in winter, can you imagine this hitting like the cold air in winter?
Well, so I think another interesting aspect about natural compositions and perfumeries and the intrinsic elements and attributes of natural aromatics is the fact that in different seasons, literally, the compositions and the constituents within will perform differently.
Yeah.
Right, because there's different atmospheric pressures, right? So the vanilla and the spices may actually literally come out more in the winter when it's appropriate to be smelling them.
Yeah, exactly.
And the citrus and the florals are more prominent in a high temperature environment like the spring and the summer because of their vapor pressures and their boiling points and all of that. That's intrinsic to their aromatics. So it's like, is it seasonal? Yeah, I'd wear it. Whatever season is now,
Right now.
The complexity of it, is just.
That's when you're in the Far East and trying different ouds, like you just collected the drops from after the third day.
Yeah.
What you do is you swipe it right there and there in the humid, hot air. You smell it, then you go in, you hold your hand in front of the air con for a while, make it cool down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, completely different.
And you go into town and you smell the food around you.
Yeah.
The oranges and the dragon fruit and everything, the steam.
And then all of a sudden, like 2 hours later, you get a waft of it and you think, what is that?
Yeah.
And that's the journey that you're taking on with these sort of natural compositions that you don't get. It takes you on a journey, an individual journey as well, an individual path. And your experience might not be the same as my experience. 100%. And it's important to remember that as well.
That's even nicer now.
Well, and Ensar's compositions, right, have literally moved people to tears. And that's because of the authenticity of these ingredients. Musk. There's perfumers in this world today selling perfumes that have never smelled musk, and we're giving it away. Like in every composition, there's elements of these valuable treasures, these relics of olfactory. It's the golden era of perfumery.
It's like a story.
Contemporary golden era.
It was in New York. I think Shahamzi Yusuf was talking about this in New York. The planetarium gets all these calls about people seeing this bright thing in the sky. It's like, that's the moon. They've never seen, they're...
Because they're covered in smog all the time.
Yeah, exactly. They've never seen the stars, they haven't seen the moon.
It's a UFO.
Like, for many people, they haven't taken a breath of proper oxygen and had that experience of, they get lightheaded now. Same with perfumes, like you said, tuberose. Who's actually smelled proper tuberose?
But
it's a very expensive.
I hate tuberose. It's like, have you smelled the actual oil? I smell the oil, like, that's not tuberose. It is tuberose. That's what it is.
Well, the industry has done a disservice to people, right? They've they've convoluted the terms of musk, of oud,
Mm-hmm.
of tuberose, and especially the niche artisans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I can appreciate what they're trying to accomplish, but at the same time they're doing exactly what, the opposite of what we'd like them to do, which is they're making people believe that this is what tuberose smells like because it's their artistic rendition of tuberose, and they're just calling it tuberose.
Yeah.
But it's an artistic rendition. It's not the
There's a
actual
place for it, but don't confuse the terms like this watermelon salmon. You fry watermelon, add olive oil and this, and this is a substitute for salmon. No, it's,
Right.
it's fried watermelon. It's not salmon. Like, it might look like it in some, but it's two different things. Don't say this is a veggie or a vegan salmon. It's not. It's watermelon.
That's it. And so I mean, the fact that we're that Ensar Oud is putting these these valuable and intrinsically robust aromatics into the composition really moves people. You talk about a personal journey, and it has an effect, a psychological effect on you, and in addition to just the pure enjoyment of it, it has this value. It has value. It enriches your life.
It enriches your soul. There was one particular client that I was talking to, and it smelled salt and red rose. And it's exactly what you said about being moved to tears. He was on the phone. I was talking to him, and he was literally welling up over it. And I think it's maybe because it activates a memory.
Yeah.
It almost like opens up your mind. I don't know. I can't quite
It's
describe
strikes
what
a
it
chord
is.
the way music does.
Yeah,
you can be sitting listening to a song, whatever, and then just that's just it's a moment of beauty.
Yeah.
That makes you just feel something.
And that's the difference between artisanal perfumery and perfumery.
Like you don't cry over pop songs unless you really relate to some.
Unless if there's
Some
some memory
story,
associated
something
with
like
it,
this,
there's a
yeah.
history behind it.
Yeah.
But generally, it's not the same. It's meant to be, heard in a mall or somewhere.
Yeah,
It's not something you sit down and listen to. Like, wow.
I'm trying to decipher the meaning to it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a rendition of Civet that really puts it in its place. Right? It
It's
showcases.
used to a point. It's not used for its own sake. It's to create something more than itself.
Exactly. Yeah, it's ambergris, musk, civet, right? And obviously castoreum, but civet in this case, is really used just to uplift everything around it, right? It's a beautiful thing, really.
We're going like this whole.
And you don't even have to be honest. Like you just sound it's everywhere, right? I mean, I don't know if I'm smelling it from you or from Ira.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
It fills the air, and you see how some people would shy away from I don't know if we did the scent breakdown or not, the pyramid on this, but some people may shy away from the fact that they see a citrus.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's going to be another. Where's the citrus? Do you smell citrus?
Yeah.
You smell sweetness. You smell some spice, right? It's loaded, right? It's loaded with these fresh, top notes that are there.
Like I smell the freshness, but I don't instantly think, oh, what is that? Is lemon or
Right. And there's maybe 6-7 different citrus components, right? And then there's backed by 4 or 5 different robust hearts, including.
And they're all enhanced by the civet, enhanced by the oud, muted by each other.
Exactly.
With the musk and ambergris on top. And then you get this.
Yeah, it's a dance of all of them, right? It's a synergy or a harmonization of all the different elements. And the floral things, they're in there, right? But where? They've become some.
It's a new thing.
Yeah, new thing. That's perfumery, right? It's like, so it has to have a new name, right? It's not.
This is Fera. This is the smell of Fera.
Exactly. It's not tuberose and this, and here's the scent breakdown. It's feel.
Yeah. It's its own individual self.
And Sarah and I, we were with one of our Chinese big wigs in the Far East.
Yeah.
And we had just sampled a lot of food, right? We were busy with the distillation there.
Yeah.
And we went it was lunchtime, so we went into a mall.
Yeah.
And we went into the sushi place, a very clean, pristine Japanese place. We sat down and you see these 3 guys just rolling up their sleeves like,
what are you doing?
Right before you eat sushi.
Yeah. I'm just checking whether I'm clean though. The reactions that you get though when you approach people, like when you're wearing a perfume like this or an EM perfume, and the reactions that you get are, I find, absolutely incredible. When they smell it on you, they feel like, what is that?
Yeah.
And that's the first thing they say, like, it's always something completely new to them, like, what is that?
It is new to them, right?
Yeah, it's something completely new to them.
Well, and honestly, I mean, from a woo-woo perspective, right? Like you talk about it striking a chord, and there are literal, like, as a synesthete, right, or as a synesthetic, not only is there color involvement, right, but there's also pitches and vibrations and, you know, frequency to sense, right? And so in this case, there's literally a vibration to aromatics, and natural aromatics exist on a higher, more complete spectrum, right? And not just the spectrum of scent constituents and density, but an actual vibration, an actual vibration, and therefore when you walk around and the sillage behind you is leaving a trail. It's leaving a trail of this powerful vibration that and that's the value of these aromatics. Not, in addition to the medicinal elements and the therapeutic kind of calming of the soul, it can also, like the Civet did to me in the beginning when I first smelled it, it can bring that kind of that grunt out of you, it moves you.
Keeps it away from it.
I have 4 kids already, but I'm like, but really, I mean, they're powerful,
and the Civet is just completely changed on its own.
And to me, now there's in addition to
the other elements in the
heart and the spices are coming out. And it's also, in terms of we mentioned seasons, right? But also environment. Like, this is not offensive. You could wear it,
not at all.
And you could wear it casually, and you could wear it given the intrinsic attributes of the actual aromatics within. You could wear it to a tuxedo event, black tie, because it's
regal.
It's classy, like you said,
it's classy. It's royal,
and it's complex and sophisticated, while at the same time being fresh and almost
interesting as well.
Right.
It's interesting.
Shall we set a 50 ml bottle aside for you?
Yes, please.
He already has one with it.
Can I have another spray, sir?
Yeah. I'm running out, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.